Good day everyone. I am going to discuss about the distinction of linguistics approaches. Learning the linguistics description and approaches will help you to understand better the intricacies of language and help you to down your studies into a specific field with interest you most. Descriptive versus prescriptive. The descriptive approaches is a linguistics distinction that describes and analyzes language according to how people verbally use it. Example is how teacher always remind the students not to split infinitives. So example, the statement to boldly go where no man has gone before instead of saying to go boldly where no man has gone before. So that is the example of descriptive approaches. So let's proceed the prescriptive approaches. The prescriptive approaches, on the other hand, lays down the correct way of the structural arrangement of the words in the sentence. Example, she doesn't know him or she don't know him. So the example number 1 is supposed to be good, while the example number 2 is supposed to be bad. So in simple sentence or in simple words, descriptive is to describe how a word is used, while prescriptive is to prescribe how a word should be used. Okay, let us proceed to the synchronic versus diachronic. Language may be explored at a particular point in time or for a very distant time. This is the distinction between synchronic and diachronic linguistics. Synchronic and diachronic linguistics are words with Latin origins meaning through time. Synchronic and diachronic linguistics in simple words. Synchronic language is studied at a particular time or a certain time in history, while diachronic focus on language development through time or focus on historical linguistics. According to Mayer and Verlag et al. 2005, synchronic linguistics came first before diachronic linguistics, before one can understand the changes of language in a long period of time. Lang versus parole in simple words, Lang is the rules and set of conventions, while parole is the concretization of language through actual use. Next, language competence versus language performance. Language competence makes the speaker compose a chain of sentence in different structural patterns. Language performance is not stable in the sense that always dependent on the circumstances of the speakers, which includes social, psychological, and physical factors. Now let us proceed ethics versus emic. Ethic is the approach to language study that denotes the description of a particular language or language culture. Emic investigate how people think, see, and categorize the meaning based on their practices, their rules and behaviors, and how they imagine things. Next, syntagmatic versus paradigmatic. Syntagmatic relation describe the dimension of language in a horizontal mode, such as sequential order of phones, while paradigmatic relation describe the relation of linguistics elements of the language outside of utterance. And lastly, speech versus writing. Speech is primary while writing is secondary. Speech involves communicating meaning verbally, while writing is the record of language represented in letters. That's all for the lesson 3. Once again, I am Marilyn Bulak. Thank you for listening and I hope you can learn something.